Today the rain slowed everything down. It softened the light outside and made space inside. It felt like the kind of day to stop for a moment and notice where I was standing. As the Christmas readings unfolded, Jesus' presence became clearer to me in a very grounded way. Not as an idea, but as God with us, present right in the ordinary places of life. And with that clarity, something else quietly came into focus. So many of the tensions we live with don't actually begin with disagreement. They begin with recognition, with that quiet need to be seen, to be acknowledged, to know where we belong. When that recognition isn't rooted in God, we start looking for it everywhere else, in relationships, in being right, in being noticed. And life becomes heavier than it needs to be. Seeing that wasn't painful, it was relieving. It explained patterns that had repeated for years in families, in society, and even in the way we relate online. Living with that clarity doesn't make everything easier. Resistance becomes more visible, not because truth is wrong, but because it no longer stays hidden. And strangely, that brings peace, because it means the tension isn't personal. It isn't failure. It isn't something you're doing wrong. It's what happens when truth begins to live in the open, in a world that learned to function without it. What brought the deepest sense of rest was recognizing something simple and steady. God has been present all along, not only in what made sense, but also in what didn't. That recognition doesn't remove difficulty, but it changes where you stand. You're no longer balancing on uncertainty. You're standing on something that holds. And from there, you don't need to fight for recognition. You don't need to convince. You can remain. Because seeing clearly doesn't leave you exposed. It leads you somewhere solid.